Good morning, everyone, and Chag Sameach. We're in the middle of a 7-day seminar on happiness. Every year, Judaism provides us with a holiday just to discuss, learn, and delve into the true meaning of happiness. And of course, the symbol of the holiday, which is the very name of the holiday, is Sukkot, named after the booths that we build and live in. There's a story told about a fellow who built a sukkah on the sidewalk in front of his house, and his neighbors came to complain that he's blocking the pedestrian walkway. So they took him to court, and there was a Jewish judge there. And the judge heard the case, and he said, okay, they're right, you got to take the sukkah down. I'm ordering you to take down the sukkah within 7 days. Well, how does the sukkah teach us about happiness? And the question is, if you're going to have a holiday for happiness, you would think you should go to a 5-star resort, a luxurious hotel with comfortable couches and beautiful artwork on the wall and pianos in the lobby to welcome you, and maybe some other amenities like plasma TVs. Why do we go out to a simple hut with 4 flimsy walls and a little shade above? And how in the world could that symbolize happiness? And the answer is that this holiday is all about gratitude. It's the time of the harvest. It's the time to be thankful for our blessings. And what the Torah is telling us is that happiness does not come from the things that we shut out of our lives by building strong homes with bricks and cement. But happiness comes from what we let into our house. When we have a sky, a roof that's open to the heaven, and a door that's open to friends and family, and a heart that's open to gratitude, that's what brings true joy in life. As Ben Zoma famously said, who is a rich person? One who is happy with their lot. It's not one that has everything that's happy. It's one who is grateful for everything that they have. There is a little sukkah that was built this year in a park in Gilo called Lavona Park. And it was built by a man by the name David Cohn. And this sukkah stands in the middle of the park, and there's a sign on it that says the following. It tells a story. This David Cohn says that last year, his father in New York fell ill during the summertime. And he flew to New York to be with his father. And then, sadly, his father's condition worsened, and his father was hospitalized during the holiday of Sukkot. And he sat by his father's bedside in ICU. And it was the holiday of Sukkot, and he wanted to eat in a sukkah. So he started walking around the neighborhood to see if he could find a sukkah. And there, on the sidewalk next to a house, he sees a tiny little sukkah. So he goes to knock on the door. A woman opens the door, and he says, can I eat in your sukkah? I'm here at the hospital with my father. I need a place to eat in the sukkah. And the woman said, of course you're welcome to. He sat down in the sukkah and started eating his food. And suddenly he started to think about his father's condition, which was worsening. He began to cry. And as he's sitting in the sukkah crying, a man peeks his head into the sukkah and he says, why are you crying? And he sits down next to him in the sukkah, and he starts to tell him how his father's condition is not well, and he's sad because his father is slipping away. And the man started to sit there and get emotional with him and cry with him. And then the man said, I'm the husband of the woman you asked for permission. I came out to see how you're doing. And he says, I have to tell you something. I started building the sukkah this year, and halfway through, when I had already put up the walls, my wife came to me and said, oh, by the way, my mother invited us for all the meals to come to her house for Sukkot. And I said to myself, should I finish the sukkah or not? On the one hand, we're not going to be eating in it. We're going to my in-laws. But I figured, you know what, let me put it up. You never know who or when it may be needed. And he said, then you come along and say you need a sukkah. And I realized why I had to build a sukkah. I had to build it for you to eat in it. And so this man, David Cohn, says, this year I'm building a sukkah in the middle of the park for anyone who needs a place to eat. And may all the eating and the mitzvot performed in the Sukkah be for an elevation for my father's soul, Ephraim ben Moshe HaKohen. And this is the message of Sukkah. When we open our hearts to one another, when we embrace each other, when we show each other love and empathy, that's where the meaning and the joy of life comes from. Chag Sameach.